If you want to do a few small things right, do them yourself. If you want to do great things and make a big impact, learn to delegate. John C. Maxwell.
Proper delegation skills will ensure greater achievement in the workplace. The management team will typically be responsible for the delegation process, so it is essential for those individuals to determine the right employees to hold accountable, when to delegate these tasks, and how to properly delegate. Delegation involves the transferring of a task from one individual, generally of higher authority, to another individual of lower authority. Thus, effective delegation is important from the start if we wish to carry out a successful project or task. Appropriate delegation is one of the first steps in the accountability process. Delegation is the assignment of a specific activity from one individual to another. In order to achieve effective leadership with a business, it is vital to have good delegation. Delegation involves empowering others to act and work toward reaching a particular goal or accomplishment. The recipient agrees to take accountability and acceptance toward this activity. Both the recipient and the delegate will remain accountable for the outcomes of the work that is delegated. There are many great benefits associated with proper delegation. Delegation, if done correctly, can help you save time, avoid confusion and frustration, and encourage employee engagement. It will also allow for the opportunity for your employees to evolve as an employee, take on higher responsibilities, and gain experience. Delegation can be a winning process for employees, as well as the overall business. Prior to beginning the delegation process, it is advantageous to know the techniques of how to properly delegate. Delegation should begin by defining the task and determining if it is a task that can effectively be delegated. Once the task is defined, then the individual or team for the project can be chosen. The recipients held accountable will have to be informed of any training needs, the importance of the delegated task, deadlines, and required results. Throughout the delegation process, it is necessary to provide communication, support, and feedback. Remember, it is the recipient and the delegate who is accountable for the results. Thus, it is critical to be able to answer questions throughout the process. Delegated tasks should avoid micromanagement, but should still have the availability to seek help when needed. Politeness and proper manners are very beneficial to employee engagement. Incorporate please and thank you in your delegated requests. In the end, work should only be accepted if it is done correctly. It is important to focus on the results while maintaining control over the whole process. If the results are successful, give recognition to the individual for their accountability and achievements. No matter the level of authority in a business, individuals should have no shame in asking for aid or assistance. Work can create stress, pressure, or feelings of being overwhelmed. When you are undergoing a task in which assistance is available, take advantage of this opportunity. Having a delegation process will avoid following a path toward a state of burnout or exhaustion. If you are unsure of whether to delegate, consider the following factors. Is it critical that you complete this task by yourself? Does this allow the opportunity for others to bring their talents and skills forward? What are the deadlines? Do I have the time to train or explain what needs to be done? Questions such as these will help you to determine the appropriate time to delegate. It is important to anticipate that problems may arise, time may be limited, or you just simply may need help. Effective delegation involves identifying the right people for the right jobs. Each individual has their own unique skill set, including strengths and weaknesses. It is important to consider the skill set of the employee prior to delegation. When deciding on whom to delegate, consider the following factors. How experienced is this individual? Consider whether they have completed an assignment like this before, or if you think they have the right skills to successfully complete the task. Remember, you can give more freedom to an experienced, reliable employee. How much time is this individual able to commit? Consider the time frame of the task and whether this individual has the appropriate schedule and availability to undergo a project in this time frame. Determine the current workload. Does the preferred work style match this task? Consider interests, styles, and dependency. This can also include whether the employee works better independently or collaboratively. Delegation allows employees to advance and better themselves. Finding the right person for the job makes a big difference in the conclusive results. It is important to ensure that the employee feels comfortable and competent in being accountable for the delegated task. Delegation allows the management team to make good use of their time while encouraging employees to develop abilities and skills, including responsibility and accountability. Despite the many benefits of delegation, some workplaces refrain from it and do not feel as though it is necessary. Management may avoid delegation due to fear of failure, lack of trust in the employees, or simply just because they are perfectionists. Sometimes it may be easier to take charge and do the task yourself, rather than having to explain exactly how you would like it to be done. This helps to ensure that it is accomplished to the right standard, while avoiding the upfront effort of delegation. In other situations, individuals may feel as though assigning responsibility onto another employee will belittle their own importance. Now let's look at a practical illustration. Winston had piles of paperwork to catch up on. Being the manager of his company, he knew the importance of getting this work done in a timely, organized manner. Unfortunately, Winston had a lot going on outside of work, which had affected his performance in the workplace. What do I do? Winston thought, how will I ever catch up? He decided that rather than having his workload cause him burnout, it was okay to ask for help from others. Winston knew that he did not need to complete this work by himself and that there were other employees in the office who had the right skills to help him complete this work. With careful consideration, Winston had decided to ask Ingrid for help. Ingrid had experience in this field, was always accountable for her work, and acquired the perfect work style for this project. At last, Winston felt like he could breathe again and was relieved from his stress.